Oh, what a
beautiful sight. Heavy snow and Tetons.
If you drive a car, you'll never go far. When it's time to pull down the seat and turn on the heat, don't be a sucker, get a Trenton sucker.
That's trash.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to That's Cool, That's Trash, the show where we watch a psychotronic movie, get together on Skype to break down the crazy. My name is Matt Howell, and I'm joined this week by my friend Joe Kincher.
Hello.
And Kyle Schaefer.
Hello.
And we are expecting a Scott Swenson, but he is currently MIA. He might be joining us a little bit later in the conversation. So the film we'll be discussing this week is called Supervan, and it's from 1977, and this was a Joe pick. So, Joe, why don't you talk a little bit about Supervan?
Okay, well, what you need to know about Supervan, if you haven't seen the cover of it, first of all, the logo is in the style of Superman with the glass 3D letters. So I guess they're going for that, and it shows you the Supervan. Basically, what this is a tale of an underdog and his dream to be the best. And his dad's keeping him down, and society's keeping him down, and there's bad guys all along the way. And he meets a girl, and he ultimately succeeds in spite of all odds. And along the way, we kind of get a little freak out, a little party. You know, some boobs, some sexing, some sexy times, and some smoking pots and drinking beers. And I think I pretty much just summed up the movie.
So
the
it's
end.
The Hero with a Thousand Faces. This is Joseph Campbell, basically.
I was thinking more of the Seven Faces of Dr. Lowe, but yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Bukowski is the wise elder who trains, the Kenobi character. No?
Okay. Sure. Well, maybe. Yeah, we can argue that later. But yeah, I was thinking more like I'm alive, and being alive is fantastic.
So, why don't you do us a solid? I think, Joe, you might be older than Kyle and I by a few months.
Yeah.
I know that some of our listeners are, let's put it this way. I remember talking about where I was when 9/11 happened, and they were saying, oh shit, I was in economics class in high school. So, that's just wow, you guys are young. And I know some people were watching this, and they were kind of like, yeah, I'm not digging this movie, man. I don't understand what the hell is going on. Can you just give a few sentences to kind of lay the historical context here for what was going on in 1977?
Okay, so...
and why this movie exists, I guess.
Trying to explain van culture. So, first of all, what you have to know is that you're aware of Smokey and the Bandit. So there's that whole trucking CB thing, which I'm not going to try and explain. But apparently these movies, this movie was written in 1976, and Smokey and the Bandit came out just before or just after. So, and they're pretty much the same plot.
Zeitgeist.
So, and this one had, it was the zeitgeist of the nation. People were all a flutter about citizen band radio and CB, as it was called, chatter, in which you say slightly masked things so that Smokey or the cops can't understand what you're saying. So you'd say yeah, bears, watch out for donkeys on your tail, or whatever. I don't know, just stupid shit.
If I can just interrupt you for a minute.
Please.
For those of you that don't know what CB chatter is like, sort of think of it like redneck rap. Right? It's like
or like a redneck.
It's like this. Yeah.
No, it's like when people short order cooks. The way that waitresses talk to short order cooks.
Squawk box, yeah, so that'll be a big fry.
I want Adam and Eve on a raft.
Yeah.
What is that again? It's eggs poached
it's an onion ring floating in ranch. Dum dum. Yeah. It's that kind of thing. It's just like, and it's the kind of thing like you're sort of talking, like it's supposed to be so cops don't understand you, but you'd have to be real dumb not to know what they're talking about. Like, in this film, what is the one in the beginning of the film? This lady says like, "Yeah, I'm feeling real like slutty girl is feeling really horny or like lonely out here," and this guy's like, "Yeah, I might be," or no, she says something about some sheets, like sheets rubbing together or something. And he's like, "Well, I might be in town and check out those sheets," and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. You're not fooling anybody with your corny little language. Anyway, the excuse for this, I blame Vietnam. I don't know. I think is what's going on. I don't know, because people were confused. I think a lot of these kids, they grew up and they felt like they missed the 60s, missed Woodstock, missed all that stuff. So they're like, we need a thing of our own. And, they're still kids. They're living at home. And they're like, well, if I spend all my money on a van, then I'll have a place to be that's my own. It's my own, like, what do you call it? Like
fuck
man
pad.
cave, fuck pad, if this van's a rockin'
Sorry, stabbing cabin.
Stabbing cabin. Yeah, exactly. And so they would trick these things out, and they would look like lavish, Billy D. Williams like living room things, like just crazy. That's way to go, Joe, with the old references. It's really gonna wrangle the new listener.
So let me add to that, Joe. Another element to this is in the late 70s there was this gas crisis. One of the reasons that the vehicle, the Supervan, is the way it is because of this climate of there were blocks long lines of cars waiting to get gas. There was this fuel shortage. That was a big deal. There was also a big push at this time for an alternative to fossil fuels, which got squashed pretty hard by the industries, the corporations, and the manufacturers of vehicles and the gas people. So you'll hear a lot, like Jack Nicholson and Ed Begley Jr. and a lot of folks were behind these cars, and there's footage of them on the news talking about them. They'd bought them; they're expensive prototypes, but they went nowhere because they were not in keeping with big business's interests. So it just never happened.
That thing was known as solar power. So solar power was a big thing in the 70s in the Carter administration. Check your Google. I think you'll find it. It was, pretty well established that wouldn't do well with the big three in Detroit, the big motor companies, and excuse me, big oil, Exxon, and whoever else.
Well,
I don't know who was up.
How do you profit from free energy, free renewable energy? Yeah. It's nonsense.
You sell expensive solar cells? I don't know. Yeah, like you block the sun? I don't know. We tried that.
Can I add Scott now? Scott.
Hey.
I'm going to kill
Can
you.
you guys hear me?
You're a little choppy.
We just finished the episode.
So another interesting thing was happening in the 70s, and that was the car craze was starting to creep into the teens. Like you could actually work a summer job and afford to buy like an older vehicle. And there were all these different magazines that were coming on the scene, and one of those was Hot Rod Magazine. And for some reason, Hot Rod Magazine kept pushing this whole concept of like a customized van. Like they were running articles about how you could trick out your van and make it really cool. And it's like you have this little living room on wheels. And so from that, these van clubs started popping up, and people were having these car shows where they would bring their vans together, and everybody would just kind of walk around like at a regular car show, except that you're looking at the insides of these really unique little living rooms on wheels. And so in this movie, what our character, he's actually on his way to one of these van shows, but it's more like a Woodstock sort of van show. It's almost like the like if you were an adult who partied and you went back to your elementary school for a picnic. There's like three-legged races and all these weird carnival games.
They're tossing water balloons. Like that game where you throw up a water balloon and then it explodes on somebody if they can't catch it right.
Yes, and that game where the waitress comes by to get your order for food and you try to rape her.
Yeah. That's a good game. Or like, and then she's like, "Okay, we're out of hot dogs." The end. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. Lots of 70s were a different time, man. Different time. Rape was cool.
So, Joe, can you tell our audience a little bit about what this movie's really about?
Okay, so our hero, we'll call him Clint because that's what they call him in the movie. So it seems only fair.
Clint Morgan.
Clint Morgan. When we open the film, he's like, "Dad, I gotta do this." Blah, blah. And he's like, and Dad is like, "Well, I thought you'd, continue the family business." And he's like, "I have a dream." And so what he's going to do is he's going to enter his, what is it called? He has a sweet van.
Morgan the Pirate.
Sweet. And his handle is Morgan the Pirate, and his van is called the Sea Hag or something like that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Salty Dog, I don't know.
Sea bitch or sea creature or sea hag.
Sea Witch or something. I think it's Sea Witch. So he's heading towards what we come to know affectionately as the Freakout, but whose full title we hear a couple of times is actually the second annual non-national bicentennial invitational Freakout 76, because this is the bicentennial year of 1976. And so he's headed there with a dream. He knows his van's going to win. He can win $5,000. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of clams.
A lot of clams. You can buy a lot of clams with $5,000. So he takes off and starts on his dream. We see a bunch of jibber jabber, but then he sees a girl is in trouble in a junkyard, and she looks like a city girl who should be a reporter, has no business being there. She's almost getting raped by a bunch of Hell's Angels, and he turns in and scares them off and takes her into his van and takes off, and they try and get away. And he drives right up into like a car crusher thing. It crushes his car, but they get away.
What I want to know is why the other biker fed his motorcycle to the car crusher.
He basically did. Through clever editing, a biker chases him up the thing, and then it's like, instead of like, whoa, it's like we sort of cut to a different shot, cut back to it, and it's like, and he's like, suddenly his bike is halfway in, like.
And we need to talk about the audio.
Yeah. Okay. So the car crusher, in the first most creative audio that we see or hear in this film, is supplemented by what sounds like an elephant. It sounds like elephant sounds, like classic, standard sound design, like library elephant jungle thing, like trumpeting. And do we have a clip of that? Because I think we have a clip that's the bike guy losing his bike into the thing, and it's crushing it.
So
wonderful. Just wonderful.
I know that he's trying to pull the bike out of the compactor, but it looks like he's getting it on. Right?
Like,
Did
what
anybody
do you
else
mean?
get that? It looks like he's fucking his bike. He's just
I didn't
pelvic
get
thrust.
that.
He's just kind of okay.
I got that he was feeding it, and I actually blame his handlebars.
Yeah.
Those are the most asinine handlebars I've ever seen.
Oh yes, they
Really,
are.
more than the handlebars of the steering wheel on the Supervan? More about that later.
I've got a knob on my car as well, my car steering wheel.
Okay, so Kyle pointed out to me that through 4 sound clips, you could basically encapsulate the entire arc, like story arc of this movie. So the first clip, is after what I just described to you. They've gotten away from the bikers that almost raped this girl, who we don't know who she is, and they're sort of joking about, oh, these bikers, huh? Well, yeah, I'll probably go on to rape somebody or something. and then the next clip we're going to hear is is the scientist friend of theirs they run into who describes the Supervan. So it's our introduction to the Supervan. The third clip is we meet our nemesis, the head of Mid-American Motors, who wants to crush the solar car that is the Supervan. And the fourth clip, we'll hear an exchange between our leading lady and our leading man talking about why they're together and why shit is so fucking amazing.
Friends of yours?
Just a couple of friendly bikers on the way to a rape.
Now, the point is, Vandora's a real lady, and she won't eat Trenton's sludge. And when Trenton and his people find out Vandora runs on sunlight, they'll hate her.
Well, what happens when the sun goes down, old buddy?
She has plenty of reserve. There's plenty of solar storage. Call me if you get into trouble with Trenton.
Well, what's he gonna do? Kill me?
The little thief! Did you hear that?
No, sir, I didn't.
Bosley, that weasel genius has taken my money and given me a design I can't use. What the hell's he trying to do? Give the people their money's worth?
He wouldn't do that.
The press. My God. If the press sees that thing, my Trenton trucker's down the drain. We gotta stop that van.
Mr. Trenton, what does that thing look like?
Weird! Weird, Gleason! You'll recognize it when you see it. And the sooner you see it, the sooner I bust it. Call me! Let's go, you idiot! Go!
I never felt like I belonged anyplace before.
Good for you. That's crazy stuff. Incredible things like Vandora. Like you. Don't really seem to belong anywhere. Except together.
Except together, Clint. Together with you.
So congratulations, you've just seen Supervan.
And you have an hour and 20 minutes of your life back. So can we talk a little bit about the protagonist? Joe uses the word hero, and I fucking refuse to use the word hero. Let's talk about this guy.
Protagonist. Well, is he though a protagonist? Yeah, I don't even know. That seems a little strong.
So when I don't know, what year did Saturday Night Fever come out?
78.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. I thought they were going for like a Saturday Night Fever thing. It was Dad coming out like, "Hey, what are you doing running after the, this disco dream, blah, blah. You're just a loser. You got to stay here and pump gas." I thought it was that kind of kind of thing. But the first close-up you get of this guy, what is his name, Clint?
Yeah.
He's got dead eyes. He's got the eyes of a guy that cuts up cats.
He looks like Steve Carell, sort of.
Okay, so in my notes I put that
and Lawnmower Man.
He looks I said that he looks like Mike Damone from Fast Times at Ridgemont High crossed with the boss from Office Space.
I think it looks like what's that guy's name? Parker
Lewis?
No,
Can't
not
Lose.
Parker Lewis. Can't lose.
Oh,
Parker. He was in
the Hardy
Misfits.
Boys.
Yeah. That guy.
Oh yeah,
a little like that guy.
I think it's just the hair.
Yeah, probably. And a little bit of Christopher Guest. He looked like a Christopher Guest character.
He looked like Christopher Guest's unsuccessul brother.
Yes.
Because he had a brother that did some acting.
Larry Guest.
He was in that Aerosmith video, Janie Got Her Gun, and he was Julia Louis-Dreyfus's husband in Christmas Vacation. So he's the other Guest brother.
Yeah.
He's not Christopher, not Nicholas.
Larry.
Larry
Guest.
Wow.
See, I saw the albino Lawnmower Man. White overalls, white T-shirt. He's kind of just a floating head.
Thank God he did not wear overalls
underwear.
the whole movie. So, did you buy this when he saves the girl from the rape? Did she have a name?
Yeah,
Karen.
her name's Karen.
Did anyone have a personality in this movie?
No. Wait,
I-
no. Gary Marshall guy did. Because he was angry.
Oh, Ted Knight.
Judge Smales.
Yeah, Ted Knight.
Yeah.
He's telling me like this, like, we can't afford Ted Knight, but we need some kind of angry, rich-looking white guy.
Get me
This
not Gary
predates
Marshall.
Caddyshack, though.
That's true.
It's like they were like, get me like an angry Gary Marshall, and get me not Joe Don Baker. It's his sidekick. And they did it, man. They delivered.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But
personality, no, not so much.
So that was one of the things I liked was when we first meet Trenton early on.
Mr. T.
Mr. T, as
They call him
as
Mr.
his
T.
right-hand man calls him.
Which is, it's pre-Mr. T, by the way, so that's pretty cool.
That I felt like there was a lot of parallels between our current climate in America and this climate here during the gas crisis, the fuel crisis, and all this kind of stuff. There's a very big anti-corporate kind of sentiment in this film, which I dug. Like that was like the first time I was like, okay, this might be okay. You know, he's a
got a DIY vibe.
cigar chomping asshole. You know. Trying to keep the man down and renewable energy down. Like I get this. Occupy 70s. This is cool.
Keep the van down.
Yeah, keeping Vandora down.
Keeping the Vanners down, man.
The Vanners. Is that the name of the girl singers? Sorry.
No, they're just I don't know what they're
The Mamettes.
They were the best, but that's
They were
all right.
the MAM girls, yeah.
Well, lucky for you, we have a clip later.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
So he saves this girl. His van, as you figured, gets demolished in the process, as does the biker's bike. And then they get towed for some reason. There's nothing to tow, but they get towed to his friend's lab. His friend is a scientist who was
Bosworth.
Or
The
Boz.
best introduction ever.
That's-
When you watch that clip, you listen to it, you swear you're going to hear a beat, and there's a microphone hanging into the lab. And I swear he's going to grab it and just start rapping like LL Cool J style. It's awesome.
You can see a mic.
Yep.
Yeah,
I did not notice that.
He walks through the door. It's like a 15:05. He goes through, and the Karen or whatever the computer's saying the thing. Oh, I hope you have a clip
Well,
of
the
that.
computer's it's got a sexy voice too.
Coming
Yeah,
correct
and
with the
and it's
timestamp.
repeating the same thing over and over, and you're waiting for the beat to drop.
Yeah, because it's like, excuse me, Boz.
I was way into Boz. Boz was hands down my favorite character. As soon as we were introduced to him, he was like he's like the Tony Stark of the customized van world. Like this dude's got a lab, like computers are talking to him. You know what? I actually thought that he was going to detonate that place and the computer was telling him to get out. Like, you need to get out, you need to get out, you need to get out. I was a little disappointed when the whole thing didn't blow up.
My wife just wrote this down for me because she remembered this verbatim. What the voice was saying was, "I recommend you check the security doors, Bosley.
Yeah.
I recommend you check the security doors,
That's
Bosley."
exactly what it was.
Yeah. So thank you, Jolie.
So we move from there. So he gets Supervan, but it's all top secret because obviously this is, in case you haven't figured, Trenton, the owner of MAM, Mid-American Motors, has paid for this solar-powered Supervan. Unbeknownst to him, he has plans for the Trenton Trucker, which is a gas-guzzling van that he wants to put out in the market. But his money went into this prototype. So the hero, he's not a hero, Matt. The protagonist and
Stop saying
this
that.
girl get the van, but they get warned that it's a hot commodity and blah blah. So they take off with it, but it's hidden inside of a bigger, like a trailer thing,
Like a big old bivouac,
and
like
then
army truck. Right?
Mr. Trenton comes after it, and it gets unveiled, right?
Yeah.
And it gets powered up. And I think we have a clip of that. You get to hear what the Supervan, which is called Vandora, what that sounds like. You know, guys, the great thing about these solar-powered vans is that they're much quieter than a combustion engine. So you can motor down the freeway and be doing whatever you need to do, and it's whisper quiet.
How many miles to the gallon does this thing get?
75!
On the highway or in the city?
It's solar miles.
It sounds exactly like an olden television and a party trick where you rub the wine glass top
Yes.
constantly. It is
Yeah.
horrible.
So that was my first thought when this thing powers up and it starts going down the highway. I'm like, well, no wonder this didn't fly. Because these people probably drove in this car for 5 miles and then snapped and pulled over and pulled a crowbar out and killed everyone around them.
Aren't there like bystanders? Like it hurts people they pass by his ears, correct?
I thought they were just staring at it. Like,
No,
wow,
no.
what is that?
It's a little of both. They can't make up their mind because they turn up a thing to blow up a cop's radio because it has this thing in it. But then when there's a fat kid on the bridge, he's like blown over by it, but the girls aren't. And it's just because he's clumsy.
I thought they blew through this little trestle bridge so fast that he just kind of went, whoa, what?
It's like, what?
Yeah. No, I thought that they were actually using sound as a weapon.
Well, they were with the
They
cop.
did at one point, yeah, against the cops.
Yeah, but also against us. I mean, every time this van was on screen, I was just completely appalled. I hated everything about the Supervan. I love the idea. The idea is fantastic. But the sound alone made me want to blow up the Supervan.
Mm-hmm.
How great would it have been if they got in that and like started it up and then was like, oh, it comes with like sound protection, and they put on the big like, construction earmuffs.
Yeah. Noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, the cans that, like the air traffic controllers use. Like, oh, great, it's fine for us.
Okay, so we have the conceit of the Supervan now. Now we need to jump forward to the event that they are speeding towards to earn a big purse of $5,000.
Freak out!
This is that freak out Joe mentioned earlier. And
the second annual non-national bicentennial invitational freakout 76.
How can this be a second annual bicentennial freakout?
Because it is.
You weren't here,
second annual non-national bicentennial.
But the bicentennial says that it's going to happen in the 76. And
no, this coincides with our nation's bicentennial.
Yeah, it's 1976. That's the bicentennial.
But how's it the second annual bicentennial?
No, it's the bicentennial of the nation.
Second annual, bicentennial. Like bicentennial also coincides with the bicentennial of our nation.
You're right up.
Remember in 1770, hey Scott, remember in 1776?
Oh, that's right. No,
I do.
1876 was the first one. I remember now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were wasted, by the way.
We were just coming off that Civil War. We were so happy.
So let's talk a little bit about the freak out. There's large chunks of this movie, which is common to exploitation films, that feels like padding or filler.
Both sometimes.
When we first see the freak out, people are showing up. First of all, I have a little beef with Kyle because he said that he was impressed with some of the sound design, and I took issue with it immediately. This film, to me, I'm really sensitive to when psychotronic cheap movies do anything they can to avoid on-location audio. So there's a way a super hack like Coleman Francis or whatever will just have characters not face the camera, and you can hear them reading a mic, into a mic later, like, "Let's go, darling, come on."
Yeah,
and then
I actually
they cut
thought
around
this
it.
movie was like dubbed in German and then re-dubbed in English.
Yeah, but they had some clever ways of getting around it. Like it starts off, and there's a whole bunch of CB chatter, and then there's a radio thing talking about the freak out, and then there's
lots of ADR. And you're going to talk about the DJ, right? Like
yes.
MC Boogie Blue. So when you roll in to freak out, it's like, ma, hey, Vanners, blah, blah, blah. And you hear it on people's radios, and you also hear it on the loudspeaker, like, hey, welcome to whatever, second annual non-national bicentennial invitational freakout 76. We're going to see it at, on WVAN or whatever the fuck. It's crazy.
Can I just make a comment about, CB talk? It's like there's all this, sort of coded sort of... But there's an artistry to it, and they all know the lingo, and the thing I find really interesting is that it's people are talking into these really primitive things, and it's kind of going out to everyone, but it's kind of cool. But we have fast forward to the future, we have cell phones, we can talk to anyone we want anytime, and we all sound like idiots, and we're screaming into our phones. And it's like there's no eloquence, and there's no like sort of like, it's just horrible. It's just horrible. It was so much cooler with CBs apparently.
It was so much better when it was
artistry.
Breaker.
Yeah,
you got a donkey on your tail.
Yeah, this is
eloquent. It's like a fucking haiku.
Mm-hmm. So
that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking in code. So we get about 10 minutes into this footage. I mean, literally, like it's like 8 to 10 minutes. And
just vans rolling in.
I can't tell what the hell Van Fest is 10 minutes into the event. Like, apparently, it's a lot of vans. And then you get to see people kind of settle in. You get to see people cracking some beers or playing some games. And I don't know if you guys have seen the short documentary Heavy Metal Parking Lot, where the filmmakers go to a Judas Priest concert outside and just kind of tape people waiting for the show. But that's what I realized, like, about 15 minutes into Van Fest, like, oh, this is like Lynyrd Skynyrd parking lot. They're just throwing beer cans around or whatever, and they're trying to rape the waitress, and we're just having a good old time. Just getting ready to pork.
Can we agree that 90% of what we saw in those filler shots was like that was just an event that was already there that they sort of filmed?
Yeah.
Like, we'll buy everyone beer and we can film you, right? Sign this release.
It totally felt like that, where
There's
it's
no
like,
release.
yeah, like on Mystery Science Theater, like Joel Hodgson would be saying, like, well, now they're just filming like their day. Like,
right.
This is just what they were doing.
Yeah,
and
it's the van porn.
Yeah.
Like, this is the audience has been waiting for this. They don't give a shit about Bosley and Trenton. They're like, come on, let me see the people at the van party. I want to see some vans.
Bro.
I guess my problem was I didn't give a shit about anything.
Yeah.
This movie was made for such an incredibly niche audience. I'm not sure how they expected this to land.
Yeah, it feels like it would have played on early cable a lot.
Well, no, Kyle and I were talking about that earlier, and because I was thinking about it, baffled me for a while. Like, I was like, who the fuck is this movie made for? Because the people that would appreciate it aren't going to go see this movie. And then I realized that the Lamar Card, the guy who, or whatever the fuck his name is, that directed it, had done like straight to drive-in movies. And I realized that after I was like, oh wait, this is totally a straight to drive-in movie. And then it all came together for me. I'm like, wait a minute. If you're into vans, you have a van, you got a lady, vans are for fucking, drive-ins are for fucking. Perfect. You go like, oh, let's just go watch this van movie that we're not going to pay any attention to, and like make out and stuff. Like that's totally what it is. And
So
this movie was made probably, including the Supervan, probably made for $50,000.
Yeah, Joe, and you have to realize, again, there was a drive-in market that really dried up in the early 80s, but it was huge in the 60s and 70s and the late 50s. But there were films that were made specifically for circuits, for distribution in areas that were just drive-in. Like there were films that were like Southern horror movies that were just kind of really trashy, really just kind of quick, like get this out, get it on screens for like a week or two. People, by the time the word spreads how terrible it is, will have like recouped our money and made a tidy profit. Like this was a whole industry. Mm-hmm. So these types of films that are quick and easy like this, and super niche target like you're saying, were not unusual at the time.
No, and they've been doing it for years. But I think but I was like, oh, that's exactly what this is.
Yep.
It's like go make out to this.
They still do that now.
Yeah.
But they just instead the movie still costs $110 million.
Yeah.
They throw it on the screen. They're like, well, the Chinese will watch it.
Yeah.
you know.
No, you're
fine.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Can I swing stuff back around to a clip?
Absolutely.
Speaking of difference between now and then, we live in a world of will and grace and of the possibility of gay marriage. Let's listen to a snippet of the portrayal of homosexuals in this 1977 drive-in piece of shit.
Jesus God, this better be good.
Truck-ins do have big, tough truck drivers, slut.
Boring. Those truck drivers don't even know how to treat a man. Boring yourself, bitch.
Wow. Wow.
I find it shockingly accurate.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
And immediately following the scene, those gentlemen pick up two of the farm girl hitchhikers who are trying to make it to VanFest, I guess, and they're trying to rape the gay guys.
Yes.
But
They lost their friend Fat Albert, who fell over when Vandora went by. He fell in the creek, and then they were like, "Oh, well, look, here comes this other van," and they hitch in, and then they're all, it's a salad of people, and it's weird. And they ended up chasing him through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
farmer's daughters were the farmer's daughter and the preacher's wife were all sluts in this movie.
Oh,
in true 70s fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Did we already meet the preacher in his van? The preacher van?
We didn't talk about the evangelist, no.
Preacher.
I was hoping we could slide over that. But yeah, go ahead.
I never thought of that.
That was my favorite van.
You mean Seth Galifianakis? I mean, I'm sorry, Daryl Hammond? It looked like Daryl Hammond. Or Seth Galifianakis, like, he's like, "You're okay, don't wander away this year." And she's like, "Well, me wander away? Don't be silly." And then and then she goes and sluts it up, and he's like a judge in the van contest.
That was another instance of kind of like talking over the shoulder shot, so you don't have to actually have any on location dialogue.
Yeah, it's all ADR. Like, we'll just shoot it and figure it out later. It's cool.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
I'm kind of curious. Do rapey guys love vans, or do vans make someone rapey?
Ooh.
Chicken egg.
Right?
Let's see. I used to have a van, but it doesn't really qualify because it's Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And it just made me pick up weird hitchhikers. That's what it did. I would never
you were into weird sex.
Apparently, bum sex.
I think we should leave that question to the listener. Like, send us your emails.
Yeah.
Let us know. Have you ever owned a van? Were you rapey before or after? Give us your thoughts.
Yes.
Doing an unofficial poll here. So after the ferry van, we get the cop is chasing Vandora again, right? And they do the little radio blow-up thing we talked about. They tweak a little dial. It blows up a radio, and there's a great little scene where...
you throw that word around.
Great or scene?
Great.
Oh, okay. And scene, probably. It's not really a scene. He's making a scene. But so his radio blows up magically somehow, and it smokes up his car and blows out his eardrums, and he crashes his car, and he walks into a saloon, and he meets another cop played by Len Lesser, TV's Uncle Leo from Seinfeld, and he complains to him, "Oh, I saw this thing," and it's all comical and everything. And then they go out and look for it, and then they chase it again, and it's all Benny Hill and crazy. And Vandora goes, like, literally goes, I think, in a circle and somehow gets away. Isn't that pretty much how it goes? It looks like it just kind of, like, goes around in a circle, and then they, like, woo, we got him, and they drive off. And so then they show up at the freak out, and everyone's like, "This is great. This is great.
So,
look at this. Look at Vandora."
Do we need to talk about the Boba Fett of the movie? The guy that Trenton hires?
Oh, yes.
The opposite number of our hero?
Vince Gleason is his name. Vince Gleason, and he's blonde with a mustache, and he looks like Flash Thompson on acid.
And he smokes Swisher Sweets, so you know he's a bad guy.
I wrote blonde Bruce Dern type is what I wrote down for him. He's kind of like a cut rate Bruce Dern. No,
I thought he looked like Robert Redford personally.
Yeah, he's a more pretty.
Really?
Yeah,
I did. I really thought he did. I thought he was quite handsome.
Yeah, I thought he was a handsome man too, like in a slimy 70s way.
I think attitude-wise, though, he had that Dern sneer to him. Like,
I thought him and Trenton had some good kind of give and take. I actually laughed at, I can't remember what burn it was that.
He says you look like you're running for the president of the child molesters club.
Yeah.
So okay, we need to let the listener.
It was well delivered.
We need to let the listener in. Early in, we see when Mr. Trenton, the motor mogul, shows up on the scene of to protect his investment. Shows up at what is this thing called? The second annual non-national bicentennial invitational Freakout 76.
You can just call it Freakout
or Freakout, as we so affectionately know it. he meets this guy and he remembers him, and he's like, "You look like upstanding citizen who would protect my interests." So he's immediately enlisting this guy as this sort of rogue agent. So we know that this guy's going to be the bad dude, is going to be the anti-Clint, so to speak. So then I guess we start doing the competitions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on to the competitions, and the vans go through a series of competitions. They're supposed to go through 5. One is called the Show and Shine. The other is called the Wiggle Woggle. Then there's 2 we don't see. And there's a Halloween party, and Clint gets tricked into... He's wearing some weird mask, and he gets tricked by Vince into, like, I don't know, looking like he's fucking some ladies, and he gets arrested. So they take the van, and they take him, and it's all in jail, and it's all locked up. Then they call the Boz, and they break him out. And this is the first time we see the van has laser powers. The Vandora pulls up, and it hits a laser and blows up the jail, breaks them out. Bikers break out too. They're chasing them. Everybody's chasing everybody. There's roadblocks. They call the Vanners out. Hey, Vanners, we got to blah, blah, blah. You got to make roadblock, blah, blah, blah. And everything works out. It's great. And then they get back to Vandora gets back to the second annual non-national Bison Invitational Freakout 76 in time for the 5th event, which is the tiebreaker between Clint and Vince, whose name is Gunrunner, for the mudslide, which is a muddy hill, and you see how far a van can go with it.
Not very.
Which is fucking stupid. And
Joe, who wins that mud event?
Vandora wins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It happens like this. Well, I said, isn't the first contestant on the mudslide going to have the best traction? First of all, that's a problem.
You'd think so.
Yeah. And then for everyone else, it's like slick and muddy. But Vandora comes in and impossibly, defying physics, and they know this because the way they shoot it, they shoot it from up the hill to make it look like it comes all the way up the hill. They shoot at this weird angle. It goes all the way up the hill. It's Supervan by a landslide, so to speak. And then star wipe to the awards ceremony. And there was I didn't say this before, but there were all these weird wipes and edits in the thing. There's like after the car crusher, there was like a Jaws thing, and I was like, if I don't see a star wipe by the end of this picture, you're dead to me. And it fucking delivered. So I got the star wipe. And then Mr. Trent gets... Yeah.
Joe, can I interrupt you for a second? Here's a fun fact on IMDb. It looks like this movie was actually nominated for a tranny for Best Transitions. But it didn't win. It was robbed.
by MJ's video.
I guess
MJ's video for Jacob's Bar Mitzvah.
Eddie Murphy probably would have been into it if it got a tranny.
No, we all love our trannies.
So the mutter scene.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of footage in this film that doesn't kind of match. So anytime you have the main story going on, there's tripods involved, there's steady shots, but a lot of the revelry and the fun and energy of Freakout is conveyed through these handheld cameras, and it looked to me like the Zapruder film. Like I was expecting like Kennedy's motorcade to try and go up the hill at some point. It's pretty dodgy looking.
Well, I think they spent all their money on Supervan, so yeah, they were cutting corners and making some pretty low budget choices. They're just like, yeah, that'll work.
But yet they got a literary legend though to be in this film.
I don't know how they did that. Okay, so what Matt's talking about is there's a scene, and if you blink, you miss it. And I literally, the first time I watched this film, I was looking it up on IMDb, and it's the one thing about this movie in trivia on IMDb, and it's that Charles Bukowski plays the wet T-shirt contest water boy in this scene, and it was right before the scene came up. And in the first part of the scene, it could be anybody. It literally could, because the camera's shaking around and he's got his back to you and whatever. And it's only this one scene where you go, holy shit, that's Charles Bukowski, where he's grabbing this girl and like he's super drunk and she's like going, get your hand off of me.
Totally uncomfortable.
Get like,
Very uncomfortable.
stop putting your arm around me. Okay. Don't kiss me, please. Yeah. She's like super uncomfortable. It's weird. So and nobody knows how or why that happened. Like I can tell you how. They said, "Hey, we'll fly you out. We'll buy your ticket if you come out and all the beer you can drink."
See, I just assumed
we'll give you $500.
Showed up on the set.
Yeah, I like to think of it more as like a Bill Murray thing, where it's just kind of like, oh my god, Charles Bukowski just walked into this party and just kind of said, "Hey, you're making a movie? I don't give a shit. Give me beer."
I bet
bless this chick over here a little bit. I mean, it's a little
it might have been like sort of split the difference, and he was doing like a book tour for like, Love Is a Dog from Hell or whatever, or Shakespeare Never Did This or whatever, and like he's going across the nation. He happens to be in because that was filmed in St. Joseph, so it's basically Kansas City. So he's in Kansas City, and the guy who's the filmmaker is like, hey. Oh, I love your stuff. Hey, you want to be in a movie for a day? We'll give you like $500 and all the beer you can drink, and you get to spray ladies' tits like with water. You're like a wet T-shirt contest guy, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck it."
See,
it had to be something like that.
See, I feel more like it was just random. He just happened to be there. They didn't know who he was.
He didn't just he didn't just happen to be at a van thing.
They're like, we need a creepy guy to like
in
grope
St.
this chick over and make
Joseph.
her comfortable.
The guy's been in 3 movies. One of them was this. One of them was I don't know what. And one of them was Barfly, which he wrote.
Right. I have a hard time thinking that he somebody approached him and he agreed to this.
That these filmmakers knew who he was and wanted him to be in it.
That's totally
it makes way more sense to me where it's like that thing where you see like iPhone video of like, I was at this party, this band's playing in the basement, and Bill Murray just walked in and started giving tequila shots to everybody. Don't know why he was there, but there he was. That makes more sense to me.
Totally. If there's any sort of plan, I can't believe. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go the Burger King way and just say, yeah, let's have it your way. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
All right. So how can we wrap this thing? Are there any kind of lingering questions anybody has? Like, I have one.
I like that. Go ahead.
Well, there in Clint's original van. He manages, as it's being eaten by the compressor or whatever it's called, to pull this
talisman.
This knob that you use to turn the wheel easily. It has a picture of a pirate girl on it. At one point, he's with Karen, I guess. She has a name. To me, she was tits in a sweater for most of the movie. No one had any personality in this film, by the way. There's no characterization.
I don't know. I thought Robert Redford and Judge Smails were pretty awesome.
She is in the van with him, and at one point they cut to a close-up of it, and you hear a voice say, "What does she have that I don't have?" And I couldn't tell if that was a comic kind of like way of like, oh, let's make the knob talk about Karen. Did anybody else note that at all?
No.
Totally bizarre.
That little close-up, it's like a post shot. Like it's
an insert.
It's an insert, like, done by, it's like a, what do they call it? Oh,
hack?
Jesus Christ. No, it's a second unit shot. Like, somebody else's hand.
There's a second unit.
It's like second unit, like, hey, all right, it's somebody else's hands, like, close-up thing and this prop. And it looks weird. And that piece of dialogue is weird, and I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I think it was supposed to just be, it's a clumsy way of her being like, hey, I love you automatically, but I can't tell you that yet. I think.
There was so much love and tension building between these two characters that when it finally exploded near the lake, I was so happy. I finally got some relief from that. I especially loved how she dabbed the water from his eye.
I had to pause it. I had to pause the film. I was just like weeping and jerking off at the same time.
There was this other quick clip. I was wondering if anybody else saw this, where Clint is trying to figure out the controls for the Supervan, and then they cut to the shot of the back of the Supervan, and Karen is just brushing her hair for just like a split second, like looking longingly out the window, just brushing her hair, and the van is making that sound.
Yeah,
she's just staring out the window, just
and
like
she's
brushing
just like
her
not
hair.
not helping. Yeah.
Is she supposed to be reading like the manual, right?
Yeah, she was reading the manual in the back. Yeah,
and brushing her hair.
I think she was reading the manual and she's like, "This is gibberish. This doesn't help. Nothing's gonna make this thing shut up. I'm just gonna get in the back and brush my hair." So it was interesting. Okay, so the the actual Supervan, the outside of it, was designed by a guy named George Barris, and he's a big deal because he designed the Batmobile, the Munsters coach, the Beverly Hillbillies truck, and like a bunch of other stuff. So pretty much like if it was a specialty car in the 60s, he designed it. So he made that thing. But then I noticed in the credits, they had another guy like Supervan interior. Okay, you know where I'm going with this. Like that guy basically got a bunch of cats, stuck them to the dashboard, and got a bunch of egg crate foam.
Yeah, egg crate foam.
And lined the place with egg crate foam, and he's like, done.
You'd think the thing would be soundproof. There would be no,
without that, Scott, they'd actually be bleeding out of their ears.
Oh, okay.
So
there we go. That's actually science.
Except the sound is coming from inside the van.
So do we move on to that's cool, that's trash, or do we? What's going on here?
Oh, I wanted to make a quick note of the weird other pedigree that I found out from this film, which is that it was edited by a guy named Bill Butler, who his other biggest credit is he edited A Clockwork Orange.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. The other stunning
Was
thing.
this before or after? I'm trying to think.
This is after.
That's really going down, man. Did he kill himself shortly after this?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. IMDb doesn't tell you stuff like that. But the other one was Bob Stone, who wrote or co-wrote all of the songs for this film, was also responsible for co-writing the majority of the songs for Russ Meyer's Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
I love that soundtrack.
I love the soundtrack.
So he co-wrote basically like the Sandpiper stuff and all the Carrie Nation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the things that the band does in that film, all the stuff that's not Strawberry Alarm Clock, he co-wrote that.
I love that soundtrack. I listen to it frequently, actually.
Oh, I love this soundtrack.
I did not love the soundtrack.
Kind of amazing.
I do. I'm not joking, though. I really thought it was pretty awesome.
Well, that's a good segue then, Scott, into is that cool or that trash?
I really feel I should go last. Or something.
I think you should go first.
Well, I feel like I'm going to be all right. You know what? Fine. I'm going to go first. I think this movie was cool. I loved it. I thought there was a lot to love. There's vans. I mean, you can stop right there, and it's a winner. I love the 5-minute van montage at the end. I mean, you got to explore some fucking cool vans, man. I thought there was a few, well, I wouldn't say good acting, but there's a few. I thought Rob Redford and Judge Smails were awesome. I thought the soundtrack was just fucking bitchin', just fantastic, and so it's cool for me.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you and say that this is absolute garbage trash. This is a quickie film that is cashing in on a craze. This could have been called Pac-Man Fever if it were 5 years later. It's a complete piece of shit. The music's fucking terrible. The cinematography is terrible. The acting is terrible. The direction is terrible. The editing is terrible. Everything's fucking terrible except George Barris's exterior of the van. It's a terrible film. I had a bad time watching it. I love bad movies, and this movie actually made me kind of grumpy. Joseph?
Oh boy, I don't know. I'm really on the fence about this one because I saw it twice. I know.
You're absolved of all sins.
Well, I had to see it once to recommend it in the first place, and when I saw it the first time, I clicked on it thinking, I was like, oh, I had a roommate in college who was obsessed with this, and I was actually thinking of The Big Bus, which is a whole other thing. Yeah. So, and I was like, oh, but this is weird. So I don't know. I liked the music. It's a weird trapped in time thing. I don't think it's a total waste, but at the same time, I'm like, it's totally a rushed thing. So I'm like, I think for the average viewer, I would say trash, but for like, if you want to like, I don't know, dive into van culture head first, check it out.
As everyone does.
As everyone does, dive into. Hopefully, that van has a pool, and you can dive. It's deep, and it goes into it. I don't know. I sort of, I have to say trash, but I think there's some little funny, stupid things about it that I like, that I found funny, and I can't wholeheartedly recommend it. And I think
So you're on the fence, though. You're like, so Kyle's going to be the tiebreaker.
I'm saying trash, but with an asterisk because there's things about it that it's endearing to me. Yeah.
So if Kyle gives a full-on cool, then that kind of sways it that way. So pressure.
That's not going to happen, Scott.
Oh, damn it.
I know that's not happening. I'm not. I know it's
Sons
not
of
happening.
bitches.
So this to me, this was two separate movies entirely that they tried to cram together into one movie to cash in on the van craze. You know what was really interesting though is, at least to me, I was getting like this really heavy MASH vibe from Freak Out.
Totally.
And it was like somebody was trying to just do this Robert Altman ripoff, like the crane shots, like the intercoms and the audio. Like,
wow.
Like
I really noted that. That's weird.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really crazy to me. It was like somebody, even like the shots, the pacing, like somebody was way into MASH and then tried to make all of the Freak Out party stuff feel like all the interstitial stuff on MASH.
That's probably why I love the movie, because there was that weird. I noted the MASH sort of pacing, weird sort of interplay in, well, at least parts of the movie. So, sorry to interrupt, but
it's
totally,
okay.
I wanted to mention something earlier about that. And I totally picked up on that. That's hilarious.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Scott, because I kept getting like this weird, like comforting feeling from Freak Out scenes.
I watched MASH every day growing up because we only had one channel, and that was like the only thing on between 5 and 7 o'clock. So.
But the other part of this movie was it was terrible. Like they set up these really cool themes, and then all the themes just fell flat and just went right out the window. And I thought they had some really cool opportunities to go farther on the corporate greed. I thought that the solar power stuff was really cool, and all of that just turned out to be part of this Bosley revenge fantasy. And as soon as he overthrew Trenton, like he stepped into his place and was like, "Well, I guess I'm the king shit of this turd mountain, and now look at me, Middle America. I am the true king of customized vans."
Why didn't I? You have a good point, Kyle. Like, I wanted to see Bosley tell him, like, go fuck yourself. I'm going to start my own company, instead of like, oh, I'm in charge of this company now.
He did start a new company. It was Hair Club for Men.
He's a yippie.
He even took like Mr. T's bodyguard, right hand man, away and said, "I could use a guy like you," and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, start clean slate. You gotta like that. That is bullshit to me, because it's like, here's a guy who's like thinking completely like outside the bun, right? Outside of the bun, and then like when he fucking wins. When he gets it and goes through the brass ring, he's like, I want to be you, and I want to have your right-hand man. Like, you're right. That's bullshit. That doesn't make sense.
So I guess I want to wrap this up by just saying I was truly disappointed, and I was also really disappointed that I didn't hear, "I'm sorry, Clint. I'm afraid I can't do that." That, to me, would have just wrapped a nice little bow around this turd package.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You swayed it.
Trash.
I think
Damn it.
trash it is.
So, Kyle, just to piggyback on what you said there, the freak out footage, to me, has value as a time capsule kind of thing, because it's pretty loose and unstructured as far as I can tell. But the storyline and all that stuff was complete trash.
Totally.
But these little kind of snippets into like Scott's Big Brother's world of like, yeah, man, this is how we partied in the late 70s. You know, like,
Yep.
I like that stuff, but it wasn't enough of it, and it was obviously just loose footage.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it was filmed through a Nokia 90s era cell phone.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Which was
wish.
pretty an awesome accomplishment considering it was 77.
And it's saying something to have a movie set on Halloween and make me not like it, because I like pretty much anything associated with Halloween, but this was set during Halloween for some reason.
It was set during Halloween.
And I still hated it.
I don't know how I missed, I must have farted and missed that. But, I mean, I know it was some sort of thing, but I didn't latch onto that.
Because it didn't matter.
There you go.
No, it didn't. I saw it on my second viewing. I was like, "Oh, that's right, it's in the fall," because they have a pumpkin on the sign when they drive in. And I'm like, "Oh, right, there's that Halloween party, so they can have the reason for the Halloween party. The reason they do it is so that it's another excuse to like fuck random strangers, because then you can." Like Mardi Gras, like you put on masks and you go, "Hey, come into my van. I don't know you."
I do like that rape in this movie is quite acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things are quite acceptable in this movie, like
mustaches.
I'm gonna say, I can list them all: mustaches and everything else. I should have listed them alphabetically. Everything else and mustaches.
Shag interiors.
Shag interiors, yeah. Waterbeds. Candelabras, I don't know, airbrush,
and
paintings.
joints.
Yeah, joints. Bras are not acceptable.
It took an hour before we saw the first joint in this movie. We never really saw bare boobs. Like, I sat through all of that. I was hoping to see a set of bare boobs. Instead, I saw a guy bring his young child to a wet t-shirt contest. and somebody in a red shirt got hosed down with water. I want my money back.
Yeah.
Did it disappoint you also that, like, earlier in the movie you see there's a girl with the biggest breasts in the world, and it's like, oh, holy shit, and then they have a wet t-shirt contest, and she doesn't even think to enter it. It's
a metaphor for this whole film.
It's the itty bitty titty committee. It's the IBTC. When it comes to the wet t-shirt contest, it's like, oh no, it's the IBTC.
Yeah, it's like, what do we know Bukowski for? Oh, his words. Let's not let him talk at all.
Yeah. In fact, let's make him. We got him here. Let's make him barely recognizable. Let's only show him in the final shot. To where I
still don't think he knew who he was until afterwards.
I think you might be right.
Okay, so Joe, let's move on. I want to get away from Supervan forever. Will you please do your YouTube comment?
Yeah. So okay. So the YouTube. The unfortunately named Fat Girl Fister 1 year ago said, "How much was gas then?"
That's Dr. Fat Girl Fister, by the way.
That's amazing. Like, everybody else is like talking about the movie and like, "How much was gas then? How much was gas then?" Oh, okay, just checking. Okay.
It's pretty relevant considering it's about a solar powered van.
Right. She just wants to know more about, or he wants to know more about the crisis.
Fair enough.
Google it.
All right. So I am so excited to get this behind me in my rear view. Kyle, talk to me about what's happening next. We're not leaving this decade, but we are moving on to a delicious piece of trash.
We have a really fun one coming up with the incredible two-headed transplant.
Yay!
This was very near and dear to my heart. I completely connected with this. It is everything that I love. Bad Science, Homemade Monsters, and Bruce Dern. So
being crazy.
We are going to have a lot of fun with this, and I'm really excited to hear what the group thinks about this.
I'm sorry, but you did not mention Casey Kasem. And if you don't mention Casey Kasem, one of his few acting roles, then you're really shirking this film.
Quite a treat.
I'm very excited to see this thing.
A massive monster menaces the world. Threatening the most intimate terror a woman ever felt. Because of an experimenter with life. The incredible two-headed transplant.
Who are you? I'm your brother. You and I are now one, dummy.
Get the guns.
Is experimenter a word?
Sure.
Yeah. One who experiments.
Yeah.
I'm just looking it up here on Google because it doesn't feel like a real word to me.
Is word a word?
So for That's Cool, That's Trash, I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Joe Kincher.
I'm Kyle Shaver.
And I'm Scott Swenson.
And we will see you at
Never at the
the
movies.
Still got to figure out our brand. That's good enough for now.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
That's cool.
That's trash.
It's garbage, folks.
What's that? What's wrong?
She's gone flat, Mr. T.
Well, fix it, stupid!